Xavier,
Yes.
thanks for coming.
Thank
All
you.
yours.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thank you to be there. Yes, we'll try to crack this question. Why can the traditional security deposit damage your conversion? And let me change the slide first. Yes. Yes. So I'm Xavier. I'm Xavier Rouhaudnos. I'm the co-founder of Swikly. In fact, what I would like to do with you today is to explain and to share with you what we've done 7 years ago with my co-founder, because when we invented Swikly, we tried to crack this question. And we tried to understand what are the main drawbacks, main pain points of the traditional security deposit. So, first, I would like, yes, this is my team. Margot is there. We are at booth 4, thank you. Feel free to come to see us. We can explain more in detail what we do. First, I would like to discuss the 20 minutes we have with you by addressing first what is security deposit, what it is, and then why you do it. And then I suggest we can share from the guest perspective what are the pros and cons of security deposit, and then from your shoes as a property manager, what are the main pain points. And then we'll conclude by explaining how we do it. Since we have answered all these questions, we try to find the best solution for security deposit for you. So we'll conclude by just explaining what we do, and of course you can go to our booth to discuss more. So what it is? It's mainly first for degradation. When you have a degradation, you want your money back. It's normal that the guest pays the degradation. But it's not only that, it's also cleaning. You know, you ask a standard cleaning to your guests, normal. Sometimes it's not done properly, so you want to have some money from it because you have extra charge from the cleaning staff. It's also a lot of incivility. Sometimes the guests smoke in the room, sometimes they make noises, so you need to have something to prevent that. Then the why you do it. Obviously, the first one is to get your money, for sure. But the main thing from our point of view on why you do it is to drive your guest behavior. You know, we are only human. When you put a card, when you rent a car, for instance, you give your car, for sure you will take care a little bit more of the apartment. You take care of that. That's normal, that's natural. And asking a deposit, it's what you do. We think it's what you do. When you scale, the main reason you should ask a security deposit is to drive your guest behavior. We call that the psychological effect, and it's one of our cornerstones at Swikly. We want to keep that. So let's dig a little bit. If we put our shoes in the guest shoes, from the guest experience, I will go through all the traditional way of doing a deposit, and we can share that with you, and we'll see what are the pros and cons. So first, the check. It's a way. I don't know if someone takes check still. Can you raise your hand if you do checks? The last time you have get a check for a deposit? Nobody's, and that's normal. They are disappearing anyway, and when you scale, you cannot manage any check. Still, from the guest experience, it's a paper to sign, but since they are disappearing, nothing to add. Cash. Do you take cash today? Raise your hand. Yes, you do. Okay. You do too. Okay. Cash from the guest experience, it's a bit awful because they have to withdraw the money for sure, and if he's an American, if his home currency is not euro, he have to withdraw 500 euro, give it to you. Safety is perhaps it's stressful for him, and then when he leaves, you give it back the 500 euro, and he take his plane, and he have 500 euro in America. So you need to change. It's a mess. Guest perspective, you may have bad reviews, I think, if you continue to do that. Then wire transfer. I don't know who is doing wire transfer. Bank. Yes, you do? Okay, a couple of it. Okay. So wire transfer, I don't know you, but from my bank website, it's not so much a good user experience. When I want to do a bank wire, I need to fill in the bank details, I need to enter a code, then I need to again do the bank wire, I again enter a code, I need to wait 2 to 3 days, and then if it's an international bank wire, you will not receive the same amount, for sure. Banking fees will be there, so it's a mess, and then you have also to refund it as a PM, so it's a total mess. Pre-authorization, maybe it's one of the most used. I don't know who is using pre-authorization. Yes, a lot of you, for sure. You know what is a pre-authorization? It's an old, it's, you know, like a credit card, you have a limit on it. You can spend only 5,000 euro per week, and even if the guest has a lot of money on his bank account, the card is limited. So when you take a pre-authorization, you block an amount on the card. So if, let's say, the guest has bought a nice costume yesterday, maybe you will not be able to do a pre-authorization on his card. From the guest perspective, I mean, most of the time he's in vacation, he wants to use his credit card, that's normal. So when you block it, he's not happy. We have some reviews on our website. They thank us because we do not do at Swikly any pre-authorization. So that's, from the guest perspective, an issue. Then you have insurance on waiver. I don't know how many of you are using insurance on waiver. One here? Okay, 2? Okay. From the guest perspective, it's quite okay. I mean, apart from paying, again, they pay some money and they can do whatever they want in the apartment. So that, as a guest, it's quite okay, apart paying. Okay? Let's go on your shoes now. Sorry. Oh, sorry, I mess around here. On your shoes. Again, from a property manager, everything is about operation. You operate all the day, maybe 20 or maybe more check-in and check-out a day. So let's go check. I don't talk about it, you don't do it. Cash. I mean, I'm sure you might have some security and safety issues. If your staff is traveling the city with some cash in their pockets, it can be hard. And I don't know where you stock it. I mean, you need somewhere to put the cash. It can be a challenge. I hope you have never some cash stolen, because it can happen. Wire transfer, when you scale, if you want to refund all the bank wire, it can be very time consuming. I mean, you have to enter all the bank account from your guest. I mean, it takes 1 hour a day if you have more than 2 or 3 check-in check-out to do. Pre-authorization, from your perspective, there is one big issue. We talked about the guest. You block his card, he's not happy. But from your side, you know, the pre-authorization, most of the time, there is a minimum delay. It lasts 7 days, most of the time. So 7 days is quite short, because when you take the pre-authorization, the guest stay 1 week, and if you need to get some money from the card after the guest has left, the 7 days are most often, it's ended. So you might be able to take some money, but it's not anymore guaranteed from the bank. So you may have nothing. And then, you know, chargebacks. I don't know if you know chargebacks. Chargebacks is when a guest is not happy with a debit you have taken from his card, and he can go to his bank and say, no, I disagree. And then the bank will manage this dispute, and most of the time get the money back from you. They will just take the money. Your payment system will take the money from you. And of course, it's another issue. It works, it's the same for pre-authorization, or actually also it's the same when you do take the money, you do a real debit and you refund it. I don't know if you guys are doing that sometimes. Taking the money is a bit like pre-authorization, but it's a real debit. Who is doing that? Debit and refund, you do? So here you have fees from your payment system, so you have to pay, so it's quite sometimes expensive. And it's the same, you have chargebacks, at least you do not have any delay issue, because you have the money, you can keep it for 2 weeks if you want, but you have chargeback issue and you have fees, and the guest is not happy with the debit most of the time. Then we have the insurance and the waiver. From your perspective as a property manager, you miss one very important thing from our point of view, because when you use insurance, first, most of the time, it's a yearly payment. It's quite expensive. You know how insurance works. They need to get more money than they give you. That's the purpose of an insurance anyway. And you have also a lot of paperwork when you have a degradation, so it can be a mess. And anyway, they are not refunding everything. You're always an amount of money which is not refunded. But it's not the biggest issue for me. The waiver is almost the same, where you get some money a bit. But the big important issue with this is you are just telling to your guest, you can do whatever you want in the apartment. The insurance will pay. You miss the psychological effect, which is the initial purpose of a security deposit. So that's why, from our point of view, you should avoid that. Because what you need at the end is not to have any issue as an operator. If you have 20, 30 check-in or check-out a day, if just 5 people have smoken in the room and the next guest doesn't want to stay, you have to relocate them in hotel, it can be a total mess. So what you need actually is, of course, the money, but what you need is mainly to not having any issue. So you need to drive the guest behavior. Sorry. Owner trust. Owner trust, that's sometimes also an important reason. Owner trust. Thank you. Owner trust. Yes, that's also an important thing when you take security deposits. It's a way to sell and to attract more owners. Of course, they are worried. They give you their apartment. They want to be sure that nothing will happen in their apartment. So explaining you have an industrial way of doing security deposit can help you a lot. Sometimes it's a challenge. Sometimes owners want to see the money of the security deposit, depending on your organization, how you do it. So you have some time to explain them that, no, we have better ways now to manage security deposits. So in a nutshell, if I would like to give you one takeaway, is this one. Drive your guest behavior. This is the main reason you should keep a security deposit. Again, it's not for the money. Of course, it's important to have the money, but the main reason you should do it is to drive the behavior. So actually at Swikly, we try to invent the best solution to avoid all these drawbacks. So we try to do it online. Online is important. You still can keep a face-to-face check-in if you want it. Most of you are maybe doing it. But welcoming a guest by starting to ask him a security deposit, it's not the best way. I think we agree on that. So if you can do it just before, a few days before, automatically with a form, you are just here to welcome him and to just present the best restaurant you have near the house. In a guest experience perspective, it's much more better to start your commercial relationship, your welcoming relationship, with asking him a security deposit. So online, we do it. Automatic, of course. What we have built and what we have built thanks to all this pros and cons analysis is that we would like you to forget the security deposit, not to do bank wire, not to take cash. It's automatic. We are fully integrated with Avantio, for sure. And how it works is that maybe you know the module Harmony in Avantio. It's the emailing module of Harmony. So you send a Swikly link to request to your guest a security deposit in Harmony. It's automated. You send that 10 days before the check-in, and then the guest just secure his credit card on our web form. And actually, that's it. It's guaranteed. So maybe it's a small thing, but what we do is we don't take any hold on the card. We don't take any pre-authorization. and we still are guaranteed. That's the main challenge for us, because when you do a hold on a card, the bank guarantees that you will have your money. If you don't do a hold because we don't want to annoy the guest, then it's a challenge to still guarantee it. We do it thanks to our own insurance. And then there is also the litigation management. Sometimes when you take some money from the guest, of course, he's not happy. And we are there too to help you to manage that. Our team helps you contact the guest, contact you to see if we can find an agreement. Okay? Sorry. Yeah, that's again one of the main takeaway I can give you if you want to understand the Swikly service, is that if we want to remove all the drawback I have listed, we can't do any debit upfront because you don't take the money. You want the guest to have his money for his vacation, and we don't do any card hold. You don't want to block his credit card for sure. So you have here a system you can configure in Avantio to completely automate everything and just forget about it, actually. If there is a degradation, if you want to have some money at Swikly, we manage. You do a reclaim on our website, and then we take the money from the card first. That's where we keep our psychological effect. Most of the time, we succeed in taking the money from the guest on his card, even if we didn't make any hold on the card. And it's only if, after 30 days, that we didn't succeed to take the money, that then we use our insurance to still pay you. Okay? So that's our team. Margot is there. I don't know if, yes. I don't know if Jean-Philippe, no, Jean-Philippe is not there. We are at booth 4 on the first floor. So feel free to come if you have any questions. We will be happy to answer. But maybe you have some question here. I don't know. Alex?
Yes. Yeah, we were just asking ourselves some tips for when there's a litigation, when there's some kind of a conflict. What tips could you give the property manager?
Yeah, I think one tip is communication. Communication is the key. With also, because we manage a lot of litigation, so what we have added in our service is the capacity for the guest to take photos. As soon as he put his card in our system, we propose him to take photos. It's included in our service. He has a link. He can take photos of the apartment. If there is and you receive the photos also. If there is something to repair, you can do it right away. Taking photos before the stay and after the stay is one main tips to manage the litigation, because you have the photo before, you have the photo after. So this is the first way. Then communication is the key. We have to explain, we have to share, and that's it. I mean, this is the main point, trying to take some photos and communication.
Okay. Any questions from your side, guys? Anything you want? Yeah, over there.
Integration with Avantio, as you said, it's connected with the Avantio solution, right? So if I want to add my template, for instance, the information template that I send to my guests, is it possible to add your link in my templates, or do I need to use your own Harmony solution?
No, it's completely integrated in Harmony. In Harmony, you are building your own templates. So it's an email you are configuring in Harmony. There is some filtering. You can say, for instance, okay, I want to send an email. In the email, you say, dear guest, with your logo, with whatever you need. Dear guest, please click here to secure your damage deposit. And mainly that's it. And you send it with the filtering in Avantio, like, okay, you want to send it, let's say 5 days before the check-in, and only, for instance, when the booking source is not Airbnb, because you know that Airbnb is managing themselves the deposit. So by that, you are sending only to the guest when you need a deposit, and you can use your own communication for sure. And the integration, how it works, in this link, as soon as the guest click on it, we call Avantio to get all the data we need for the deposits. The name, first name, email, phone number, amount of the deposit, for sure, the start of the booking, the end of the booking. All of this we need to secure damage deposit. So we get all that. The form is pre-filled. The guest just has to click, and then he enter his credit card number.
Okay, interesting. A second question is related to the litigation, because we struggle a lot with Airbnb specifically when the guest is smoking inside or there is a party, and we don't have evidence, because they hide the butts, or you cannot prove that there was a party, but the neighbors complain it. So how to make I don't know, to charge the deposit if we don't have the evidence, let's say.
How? Sorry, if the guest doesn't want to record his credit card, is that your question?
No. He put the information, it's fine, and then we need to open a case with you to get the money because he made a party or because he's smoking inside, but he smoke, maybe you don't have the cigarette butts. So how your team works in such case?
In fact, you go on our website, you reclaim some money, and then we do the withdrawal of the money from the card. And at the end, if we did not succeed, we use our insurance to pay you.
Okay, so I don't need necessarily to have evidence to prove that the guest broke the house rules, for instance.
Yeah. We do have some photos to prove the debit, because for the guest, it's also tips we can share. It's communications. We have to show him what happened. So photos of something broken. And in case of smoking, what our customers do is we are sending the invoice from the cleaning service to avoid the smell.
Thanks.
Now, in your experience, who's taking care of taking the photos? Because if you have 10 properties, that's one case. But if you have 100 properties, might be a different case. So, who are they? The cleaning team or?
Actually, it is the guest who is doing itself.
The guest does it itself?
Yes, the guest has the possibility to take themselves the photos, and usually they want to do it because they made a deposit, so they want to be sure that nothing happens. So in our solution, they receive a mail just at the starting of the booking to propose them to take photos, and they upload the photo with their smartphone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We were just talking about other approach, right, to the business. This afternoon there is a conference on sustainability, how to, manage your properties in a more sustainable way, together with Bob Gardner. But we were discussing about circular economy and sustainability previous to the talk, and you just told me something that's very interesting.
Yeah, maybe the economy of functionality. It's a new movement starting a few years ago now. It's to try to push us to not buy anymore, but to rent. Because when you buy something, most of the time you use it a couple of days during the year, and then it just stays in your house for nothing. When you rent, you have produced one thing which is used all 100% of the time, almost, for many people of you. So it's a way to not produce more than needed. And we are, at our level, we are a tool to facilitate the rental, because we are doing this for hospitality management, but we're also doing this for material rental, for paramedical rental, a lot of things we rent. We try to help the renters to secure their goods with a security deposit. And when you take a security deposit, as human, we take care about the goods, so the goods has a longer life. So again, it's also a point for sustainability, to use at the maximum of its possibilities the goods you rent.
And then maybe also for delivering a better, richer experience at the destination, there are other services or that can use your security.
Exactly. If you rent bikes, for instance, you can use a security deposit for the bikes too. Yeah.
Okay, well, Xavier, I don't know if there's any other over there. Mike, please.
Hi, I just want to know, what's the fee for your services?
Yes, there is a fee. You're right. You're right. We have two fees, actually. One, when you take the deposit, as soon as we have secured the deposit, it starts at 1.8% if you have very few properties, and that goes down depending on your volumes. So our team is there to give you the right offer. So it's 1%. If you take 100 euro as an amount of a deposit, you will pay almost 2 euro if you have only few properties. And then we have a second fee only when you get the money from us. If you have a damage and we give you, let's say, 50 euro for a cleaning, we'll add a 3.4% as a fee on this small amount. No monthly fee, it's only a per use. Any other question?
Yes, I wanted to know, I'm here.
Where are you? Sorry.
Here. Yeah, I wanted to know, how do we know that somebody inserted the card? Do we get a notification back?
Yes.
Or,
yes, you receive an email
okay.
to say, okay, this one is done.
So we receive an email. Do we get a notification in Avantio or not?
In Avantio, it's something we are working on with them.
Okay.
So they have decided to do it. Then it's a question of roadmap here. But it will arrive, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right. So Xavier, thank you so much. Very interesting model.